Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. So today we're going to be continuing to move on our journey through the 8-limbed yoga path, continuing on with niyamas. We're going to get into the 4th out of 5 niyama today, which is, I have to say it very slow or I mess it up. It's a Sanskrit word, Svadhyaya. I hope I said that right. If you are a Sanskrit guru and I just butchered that, then I am so sorry. I'm still working on my Sanskrit. But basically what that means is self-study and self-inquiry. So as usual, I will give you different prompts throughout. What you come up with is great. Okay, so there's no wrong answers. It's all about what you come up with about you. So that being said, half saddle will be our peak pose today. So if you need any props for that, folded blankets, bolster, cushion, pillow, what have you, go ahead and have those. But let's start in child's pose and make this an easy child's pose. So if you need to cushion your knees or something there, go ahead and do that. You don't have to come into your full child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Just kind of be where you need to be. And instead of taking my arms long, I'm just going to make a little pillow here with my hands. And I'm just going to rest there. Good. And as I kind of settle into this child's pose, I'm going to just breathe and expand that rib cage. And I'll give you the first question. Why am I here? Why am I here? You can interpret that, the larger picture. Why are you here on this earth? What's your purpose? Or maybe something a little bit less intense or deep than that. Why am I on my mat today? So as you inhale through the nose, find expansion in that rib cage. Pause for a moment and slowly release. Inhale and expand. And slowly release. Good. Now carefully come out of the child's pose. We're just going to come to all fours. Good. And while we're here, just take a few nice, gentle cat-cow. So maybe inhale on the cow, exhale into cat. Just kind of moving and loosening up the spine a little bit. Notice how you feel as you move. Good. Now from here, let's take just in a little side bend. I'm going to go to my right, but it doesn't really matter what side you start with. And come center and maybe to the left and through center. Good. And we'll go again. And one more time. Good. And then maybe a couple cat-cows again. Good. Now from here, take this into a little bit of a deeper child's pose. So now that you're a little bit looser, now this time maybe arms can come forward or hands by the ankles. If you want that little pillow again, we'll take that. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Breathing and expanding. Svadhyaya, self-study. Why are you here? Remember, if something becomes too much, can't do a good breath, you start to feel pain, numbness, tingling, burning, back off until you can breathe, until you don't feel those sensations. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully take the hands under the shoulders and carefully come out of there. Good. We're going to have a seat. And I'm going to bring a blanket, a folded blanket in here to sit on just because my hips are a little bit tight today. And then that'll just make this more comfortable. So I'm going to sit here and we're going to come to half shoelace with the fold. So this is one we haven't done in a while, but I'm going to make this one just a little bit more accessible. So let's start taking the left foot, the left leg forward. Good. And then I'm going to take the right leg and I'm going to cross it over. Now, for some of you, this might be it. And I'm wearing black on black, so maybe you can't see that very well, but my knee is right here. Good. So here's my leg. Here's my knee. Good. So some of you are going to do different things. This might be where you want to be. If you are dying to do full shoelace, you can bring in this other foot here. Just make sure both hip bones are grounded. So if you bring in this leg and your hip is hiked up here, you need to come back here. Okay, so this is where I'm going to practice this one. And then to begin, I'm going to start with a nice tall seat. And then from here, big inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. Now, some of you might need to take a knee out a little bit here to do your fold. That's okay. Be where you need to be. Oh, we don't want to do that for 4 minutes. Just 3. There we go. All right. So another question you can ask about here. What do you hope to gain or learn about yourself in the self-inquiry as you turn inward? And the why am I here? What is my purpose? What do you hope to gain or learn about yourself with that? So remember, you won't be able to fold as deep here, whether you're in the full or the half. You're going to have a leg or a knee in the way. Another metaphor that's often used with this niyama, the svadhyaya, the self-inquiry, kind of as you forward fold and you're kind of folding inward, and it turn inward to ask yourself these questions. It's just kind of another way to think about it. Remember, your body will let you know when it's safe to fold in deeper. What is your body telling you about this pose? It might tell you some physical things, but if you take that a bit deeper, what's it trying to tell you? Are you holding on to something? Do you need to release something? Self-study, self-inquiry. So from here, when you're ready, carefully come up out of there. Carefully undo. Take your feet about hip width apart. So taking your hands behind you and just get a little windshield wiper here. When you're ready, we're going to take that all to the other side. So now your right leg is going to come forward. You can cross the left knee over and be here. It can be down here. You can do that full if you've got that one, as long as both hip bones can be grounded. So be where your body needs you to be here. And remember, it might not be exactly the same way that you did it on the other side. Sides are different. And when you're ready, we'll go here for 3 minutes. You can stay up, you can fold in. Breathe and expand. What do you hope to gain or learn about yourself? Breathe into the back body. Always come back to intention. So from here, carefully come out of there. Good, we'll undo the legs. Bend in, good, hands behind, get that little windshield wiper again. Good. So from here, this next one should feel really good after that. So wide legged forward fold, or full dragonfly, as we call it in Yin. So I'm just going to take my legs out to the side here. And I'm going to kind of scoot back a little bit so I can take my hips into a little bit of an anterior tilt. So that just means my hip bones are rocking forward and my tailbone is rocking backwards. Now, again, be mindful, maybe not your widest opening here. Give your body some space to move. And if you need to bring a folded blanket or cushion in here to kind of help support you, always bring that in. But then from here, when we're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale, take it forward. Your body will let you know when we should stop and calm down. Good. Breathe into the back body. Good. So another way to kind of think about all this, the way we practice yoga is the way we practice life. So are you in a hurry to get from one pose to the next? Do you try to kind of slow down a little bit and relax into it? So the way we practice yoga is the way we live our life. Or practice life. So kind of just ponder that for a little bit here. Getting into that self-study, the self-inquiry. Let your knees bend a little bit here. If this is too tight in the hamstring, you can always support underneath the knees as well. Hand towels, bath towels, blankets, all do a good job. Breathe. So from here, carefully come up out of there. Good. All right. I'm going to take my peace fingers behind my right knee, and I'm going to bring my right foot in here to my left thigh. So we're going to go into half butterfly here, and we'll add a twist onto this today. So again, we'll do this for about 3 minutes. So different things for different people. Some of you are going to just side bend and just be right here. Others are going to follow me rotating and folding. Okay, so there's your twist there. So whenever you're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale, take the side bend or rotate and fold over that leg. Breathe and expand into the body. Good. So another question you can ask yourself for self-inquiry is a very simple one, but one that we often don't ask ourselves. How are you today? How am I today? Some of you know that I recently lost my yoga mentor and teacher. So the end of last week really wasn't that great, but you know what? I'm doing better today. And I am grateful for what I was able to learn from her, have her as my teacher. So how are you today? How am I today? Ask yourself. Try to dive a little bit deeper than just the physical. Breathe and expand into the back body. Now, those of you that are in the twist here in the fold, would like to come to a deeper twist. Your left arm's going to come on the inside of that left leg or foot. Your right hand's going to come somewhere on the outside of that left leg or foot. That might be enough, or maybe you can continue to open up here. So find what works for you. Different people need to do different things. Always okay. Breathe and expand. How am I today? So again, if something becomes too much, can't breathe well, pain, numbness, tingling, burning, can't maintain good form, carefully come out. So from here, if you took the deeper twist, carefully undo. And once you've undone the deeper twist, carefully come up out of there. Good. We are going to switch sides. Now I'm going to take my right leg out to the side. Good. And I'm going to bring my left foot into the side. Make our timer over here. Good. So same thing as before, do what you need to do. Maybe you just need to do a side bend. Maybe you're following me through a twist. So from here, when you're ready, big inhale, exhale, rotate if you're following me and fold. Otherwise, just side bend to the side here. Breathe and expand. So how am I today? Why am I here? How we practice yoga is how we practice life. Ponder. Good. So from here, you choose, you can stay where you are. You can make a change. You can start to twist deeper with me if you want to go there. So if you want to do that, the right arm on the inside of the right leg, coming into the inside of the foot, maybe. Left arm somewhere on the outside of the right leg or foot. That might be enough there. Or maybe we continue to open up towards the left. How am I today? Why am I here? How is my breath? Sink into a little bit more stillness. And then from here, if you took the deeper twist, come out of the deeper one. Good. And then from here, we'll all come up. Good. So I hope you feel a nice little shift there. If you need to just kind of wiggle side to side, go ahead. We're going to come into our half saddle, our peak pose from here. So that being said, I am going to also sit on a blanket when I do this one. So I'm going to get that ready here. Good. And then I don't know if I will go back from being seated or not today. So just in case, I'm going to take my bolster behind me. So I'm supported there. All right. So I am going to sit kind of on the edge of this blanket because I'm going to take my left leg forward first. I'm going to roll over to the left side so I can take my right foot back here. So remember, the higher up you sit, the easier, I shouldn't say easier, but maybe less intense this becomes. And remember, we want this knee to be grounded here. If it's floating up in the air, that's very, very risky. So I find if I move my blanket over a little bit to sit on, then I don't get tangled up in my blanket when I take my foot back here. So from here, good. We'll do this for about 3 minutes. We'll add on different things. And as usual, sitting up nice and tall, if it would feel good to you to just kind of rub around here, you can get into there, maybe even into the calf or the shin, the tops of the foot. Good. Breathing through it. So maybe ponder that through self-reflection, that self-inquiry and study, we begin to know ourselves better. And meditation is a great way to do that. A lot of people are like, when they hear that, it's like, well, I can't sit still for hours at a time. Well, don't think about it as hours at a time. I can't do hours at a time. I do well if I make it to 20 minutes, quite honestly. But for most days, I'm really about between 5 and 10 minutes. So if you're not used to meditation practice, start off with 1 minute. Everybody can do it for 1 minute, and then build yourself up from there. Now from here, you can continue doing what we're doing here if this is where you need to be. Those of you that want to play with coming back a little bit, remember, support yourself, especially if you're older. Backs tend not to like to go all the way back if we're younger. And I'm just going to come here. And your body will let you know when you shouldn't come back any farther. And for me today, this is going to be it. I am not going to be able to go all the way back without injury. So I'm going to stay here. The other thing you want to watch for, if you come back, if this knee starts to lift up, this knee still needs to be grounded. So again, a floating knee is a risky knee. And we breathe. Some of you might need to sit up on 2 or 3 blankets. That's okay if that's what you need. Some of you might be pretty open and maybe you don't need to sit on a blanket or a pillow at all, and that's okay too. Bring in the self-inquiry, bring in the breath. Svadhyaya. And then from here, I'm going to carefully come up out of here. You never want to just snap out of here, want to protect the knees. So to transition, I'm going to roll over to my left side. And I'm just going to carefully release here. Good. And then while I'm here, just kind of noticing, and I'm just going to rub. Maybe do a little bouncy bounce, maybe point and flex through that foot, rolling that ankle in one direction and then in the other. Good. So from here, I am going to just switch sides here. So I'm going to take this bolster here for my back, And I'm just going to turn around here. Good. So now it'll be your right leg that comes forward. Good. I'm going to roll over to my right side. I'm going to take my left foot back. Good. Yeah. Pull this up. Good here. Good. So sit higher if you need to sit higher. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll take this one for 3 minutes as well. And you can rub here if you need to. This is usually my tighter side, but I'm actually feeling more open here today. Good. So through that self-inquiry and study and reflection, that's how we know ourselves better. We often say, pay attention to people, pay attention to others, listen to others. What about paying attention and listening to ourselves? Don't ignore yourself. Your body is your best teacher. Maybe ponder again. How do you feel? How do I feel? Why am I here? What do I hope to gain or learn about myself? Now from here, you can stay right where you are. If you want to take that back a little bit, good. You can come back a little bit here. So again, I'm not going to go all the way back today. I'm just going to hang out right here. My low back is still supported with this bolster cushion. So I would say part of self-inquiry is also maybe asking the question, can I honor myself where I am? So for those of you that have done Yin with me before, you've seen me come all the way back on this bolster. But today's not that day because I'm not there today. I'm right here. This is what my body needs. So can you honor yourself where you are? And that goes back to the other thing I said a moment ago. The way we practice yoga is the way we practice life. Do we force ourselves to do things? Or do we take it easy? Do things when we're ready to do them. So from here, carefully come out of there. Good. We'll undo the legs, coming over to the right, undoing the left. Good. And then again, if you need to rub something here, do so. If you need to do a bouncy bounce, you can point and flex that foot. Maybe take it in a circle and then in the other direction. Good. So then from here, we're going to come into a seated twist now. So I'm just going to turn and face you for this one. So this is similar, but a little bit different from the half saddle. That's wrong. From the half shoelace that we did earlier. But I'm going to just kind of take my left leg. I'm just going to let it bend here. And then I'm going to take my right foot and I'm just going to place it right forward here. So I'm not doing, this extreme crossover. I'm just letting it be here. And again, if that's not for you, knee doesn't want to do that, just be right here or just do a crossover again. We're going to twist to the right. So my right leg is the one that's bent here on top, wherever we're going to be. And we'll do that here. We'll just do that for a couple minutes. So from here, nice and tall, big inhale, exhale, take that twist to the right, rolling the back shoulder back. Careful not to crank through the spine. Both sits bones are grounded. Breathe and expand. Relax the shoulders. Now, why am I here? What do I hope to gain and learn from this practice? Or about myself? A nice tall spine for a twist. Belly button is still in here. Expanding the rib cage. From here, carefully come out of the twist. Good. Take both of those legs long. Good. And when we're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. So now I'm going to have my right leg long here. You can bring in your left foot. You can be here. You can cross over. Be where you need to be here. Big inhale. Exhale, twisting to the left, rolling the shoulders back. Breathe and expand. Remember, no cranking through the low back. You ask yourself, how am I today? Do you feel safe to soften? So softening a little bit through the face, softening a little bit through the hips and the shoulders. Good. From here, carefully undo. Good. And just take those legs, maybe shake, shake, shake. We're going to come onto our backs. So we won't need a bolster or cushion like that for what we're going to do. But if you know you want that for Shavasana, go ahead and bring that in. Same thing for, like a little bit of neck pillow or support. And for here, as you come down, good. I'm going to give you one of two options, technically three options. So you can come into a happy baby here if you would like. So bending the knees, taking feet kind of flat towards the ceiling, hip, knees, and toes turn away. Gentle tug down. There is the happy adult that's a little bit less intense, but still hip opening. And then some of us are just gonna just take the knees basically into the chest and just be right here. So we're gonna try this for 3 minutes. So be where you feel like you need to be here for those 3 minutes. Breathing and expanding, and you can rock, you know, rock your baby, rock your adult, rock your cradle. I think this is called cradle. Good. So sometimes when we dive deep into ourselves for personal reflection and inquiry, sometimes we find some darkness there. Just remember that it's not, the light, the dark side, like Star Wars or something like that. But we all have elements of light and elements of dark within us. It's what you choose to do with those things that makes you who you are. And it can also be illuminating too, coming into terms and discovering some of that stuff. Sometimes that means we need to release some stuff. Sometimes it just means we need to be mindful and keep some things in check. So kind of as an example of where I was, where I am now, I used to have a really sharp tongue. So I could hurt a lot of people with my words. Revenge was never too far away from my thoughts. Those kinds of things. So I have to keep my ego in check, because if I let it go, I can easily come back to those thoughts and just, kind of not be that kind of people, not be real mindful about it. Words can impact people for the rest of their lives. So what you say is very important. So kind of, delve deeper and find the darkness with the light. And then, find ways to handle and keep some of those things in check. So from here, when you're ready, good. Carefully kind of stretch out here based on where you went, where your body needs you to go. Do you need to make some circles here? When you're ready, we're going to come into our Shavasana. So I'm going to bring my bolster in here for mine. Just use my legs and my feet to bring it in. Good. So you can use any props, any feel goods that you have that you would like. And then once you get where you're going, just kind of see if you can make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And I'll leave you here again to ponder that Svadhyaya, the self-study, self-inquiry. How am I today? Why am I here? Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness or maybe taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifting it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way you may have used during your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto the right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. And whenever you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we normally start our practice. Good. Notice how you feel. Palms up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Reconnect with that intention, the Svadhyaya, the self-study, self-inquiry, one more time. And we'll take thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month ahead. Namaste.